North West continuing to take Italy by storm with a style all her own. That's the 12-year-old making her Venice Film Festival debut with mom Kim Kardashian.
Everyone saw the photos. A 12-year-old in Rome, blue hair, a corset top, and a miniskirt that launched 1,000 comments. The internet didn't just react, it erupted. And within hours, the old war between Kim Kardashian and Kanye West flickered back to life like it had been waiting for a spark. Was this parenting or PR? And who's actually calling the shots? It didn't land like a cute vacation snapshot. It landed like a headline. North West stepped out in Rome. Blue hair, cinched top, miniskirt styled like a headliner. And the internet shifted from scroll to stare. Within minutes, a single look turned into a public debate about boundaries, childhood, and who gets to decide what too grown looks like. Some called it creativity, others called it a marketing moment. Plenty said it felt like a test balloon to see how far the public would let the family push a 12-year-old's image.
Whatever she wants to do when she is old enough, she can do.
For 12-year-old North West, what she wants to do is rock blue hair and a corset. So that's exactly what she's gonna do.
And because this family isn't just famous but meta-famous, every detail read like a signal: the hair, the fit, even the city. Rome wasn't just a backdrop, it felt like a stage. The comment section split in two. One side argued it's just style and self-expression, that kids in the spotlight are always judged harder, and that North has grown up around fashion houses most people only see on runways. The other side saw dollar signs and timelines, worried that the line between childhood and brand was blurring on purpose. The nuance got steamrolled by speed. Think pieces tried to catch up, but the hot takes won. Cool mom, reckless, industry pipeline, let her be a kid. And under it all was the unsaid truth that makes this story so volatile. When a child is also a public figure, every outfit becomes a statement, whether anyone meant it that way or not.
You guys know I love driver's license. Look, she sent a box of tissues.
Why do you talk different?
Why do I talk different for what?
But the reaction online wasn't the loudest thing that happened next. Reports started flying. Kanye wasn't just upset, he was ready to bring in lawyers. Headlines claimed he was done watching from the sidelines and prepared to raise hell over what he sees as a line crossed. Now, here's the important part. These are reports, not court filings. No docket numbers, no motions, just sources saying the temperature's rising fast. Still, the idea of a courtroom showdown over styling and boundaries had everyone asking, what does best interest of the child look like when the child's also famous? Who holds final say on styling, brand deals, and social media? Is there language in a custody agreement about public appearances or recording sessions? Could trademarks and publicity rights for a minor become bargaining chips?
Okay, go sit on that couch right there and you can watch us.
No, this is a good couch.
I remember sitting with North and playing her back to me. Sometimes I feel like my mom speaks through her.
You didn't need a law degree to feel the tension, because once lawyers enter, cool mom versus protective dad turns into best interest of the child. And that standard doesn't care about likes or headlines. It looks at routine, stability, privacy, consistency. Fans split again. Some cheered the hard line, set boundaries now before the machine spins faster. Others saw a stunt, legal thunder with no lightning, meant to scare, not solve. And hanging over all of it was a quiet truth. If either side actually files, the spectacle goes dark. Judges don't do comment sections. Discovery isn't content. And the moment this becomes real, the loudest voices will be the quietest documents. And just when the legal talk got loud, the music made it louder.
There's no words, Chris Appleton's the best.
Okay, you heard it from North West.
Earlier this year, North's verse surfaced on music connected to King Combs. The track Lonely Roads and Kanye's Lonely Roads Still Go to Sunshine tied North's voice to a project produced or promoted by her own dad, with all the emotions that invites. Supporters said she's talented, let her shine. Critics countered, if Ye wants less spotlight on his daughter, why is she on records linked to a family drowning in headlines? The optics got messy and fast. Whatever your stance, the record existed. The timeline did not help the piece. And whenever the spotlight swings to North, the internet points to someone else too. Whenever a Kardashian storyline feels a little too perfectly timed, the internet doesn't just look at the faces on camera, It looks for the producer. And in this family, that role is practically a character, Kris Jenner.
Northwest Kardashian channeling Kylie Jenner's style with a blue do. The daughter of Kim Kardashian and Kanye West debuting a new hairstyle on TikTok that's dyed a very familiar shade of blue. The famous family's fans now flashing back to King Kylie era.
Fair or not, she's become the shorthand for strategy. The resume is public. Decades of brand deals, spin-outs, and pivots that turn private moments into global currency. That's why, when North trends, people don't just ask what happened, they ask who planned it. Part of this is reputation. Kris is known for turning a bad headline into a business plan. Take a shock, flip it into a photo shoot, rinse, repeat. Fans call it savvy, critics call it a machine. Either way, the playbook people describe looks like this. Test the audience with a loud moment, measure the response, then decide whether to pull back or roll forward with a partnership, a drop, or a cover story. It's PR as product development, and it's why every wardrobe choice, TikTok clip, or cameo spirals into a think piece about intent.
The reality star's in a form-fitting black dress with a hood, but North is going bold. Check out the pinstriped miniskirt, safety pins, studded socks, and $1,000 combat boots with a 5-inch heel.
Layered over that are the long-running allegations and disputes that never fully leave the conversation. Years-old claims from Ray J about decision-making around that infamous tape remain hotly contested, but they feed a narrative where Kris is cast as the architect who's willing to make hard and to some heartless calls for the brand. Emphasis on allegations, not proven, publicly denied, endlessly debated. Still, once a perception sticks, it colors everything after it. So when North appears styled beyond her years, the speculation writes itself. Is this a one-off or the first step in a rollout? There's also the generational angle.
Check out Northie in Rome, heading to dinner with mom Kim Kardashian. Her look accessorized to the max. Blue hair, eyeglasses, a choker, corset top, tutu skirt, combat boots, lots of jewelry, and a black purse.
People see the empire Kris built with Kim, then watch how Kylie and Kendall were positioned, beauty, fashion, runway, and wonder if the next wave is being mapped in real time. That doesn't mean there's a secret whiteboard with North Q4 campaign on it. It means the family has conditioned audiences to expect a plan, so even normal tween experimentation gets read like a brand document. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Strategy can be both protective and provocative. A controlled shoot can keep paparazzi at bay. A curated post can drown out a rumor. But the same control can also accelerate exposure, especially for a kid who didn't choose the spotlight. That duality is why Kris becomes the lightning rod. If the optics feel calculated, she gets the credit and the blame. For people who believe Kanye's warnings, Kris is the caution sign, proof that the line between childhood and campaign can vanish in a contract. For those who trust Kim and Kris, she's the buffer, someone who knows how to guide a famous family through chaos without letting it consume them. Both stories can't be fully true at the same time, but both are persuasive enough to keep the debate alive. And while strategy sets the stage, Kanye's been drawing his own hard lines for years, and that history explains why a single outfit could set off alarms. Long before Rome, Ye planted a flag. Back in 2020, he said flat out that his daughters would never be pushed toward the kind of grown-up imagery that made the family famous. It wasn't a casual comment, it was a promise he repeated in different ways. No provocative shoots, no industry shortcuts, no turning curiosity into currency when it comes to the kids. Agree with his methods or not, the line was bright. Childhood first, brand second. That's why the Rome photos didn't land in a vacuum. To Ye, it looked like a step over a boundary he thought everyone already understood. Add in the TikTok debates, the studio cameos, and the constant camera presence, and you get a father who sees a slope getting slippery. He's not just reacting to blue hair or a corset silhouette, he's reacting to a pattern he believes leads somewhere he swore his family wouldn't go. In his mind, the guardrails aren't about controlling style. They're about preventing the industrialization of a kid's identity. There's another piece people forget. Promises reshape expectations on both sides. When one parent stakes out no playboy energy ever, the other parent's everyday choices start getting judged against that pledge fairly or not. A playful outfit becomes a referendum. A cameo verse gets treated like a contract.
And I was like, what do you think about this line in the middle of the song? Do you think I should change this? She's like, it's a good song. You gotta say what you feel.
And when the history of this family includes carefully timed rollouts and glossy recoveries, Kanye reads just a phase as phase one. That tension explodes online because it's not really about a look. It's about whether a line drawn years ago still means anything today. But the internet doesn't just track lines, it tallies contradictions. And that's where the next chapter gets loud. The moment lines get drawn, the internet starts auditing. Screenshots, lyrics, paparazzi clips, everything becomes evidence. That's why Kanye's message hits turbulence. He says protect the kids, but his visuals lean grown, his lyrics lean blunt, and Bianca's fits are designed to be unignorable. To a lot of people, that looks like mixed signals, preaching modesty while selling spectacle. They call it double standard energy. Dad sets rules for his daughter that don't seem to apply to the world he curates for himself. On the flip side, critics say Kim's strength owning the narrative can look like a strategy to outrun consequences. A backlash arrives, a glossy moment follows, and the story reframes itself. That isn't illegal, it's PR. But to skeptics, it feels like a loop. Controversy, content, campaign. They argue that when you live by momentum, even parenting questions start to look like brand moves. To supporters, though, this is exactly why she's steady. She knows how to absorb impact and keep life calm for the kids, which is its own kind of protection. Here's where it gets sticky. Both critiques can be true at once. Kanye can mean every word about keeping childhood sacred and still undercut himself with optics that invite heat. Kim can fiercely love her daughter and still misread how a look plays when the audience is primed for scandal. The internet isn't generous with nuance. Algorithms don't reward context, they reward extremes. So the conversation slides toward absolutes, hypocrite versus master manipulator, and the middle gets erased. Add parasocial math and it only gets louder. Millions feel like they know this family personally. They pick sides the way people pick sports teams. Every post becomes a scoreboard. If Ye softens, he's backpedaling. If Kim doubles down, she's doubling profits. If either one stays quiet, it's calculated silence.
It's all good.
Mom, that term is so old.
Well, you said I'm good.
I'm good, yeah. I'm good.
That noise makes it hard to see the simple truth: parenting in public is a lose-lose game. If you shield too hard, you're controlling. If you loosen the reins, you're reckless. And when a kid is famous, both choices get litigated by strangers in real time. The hypocrisy debate also hides a practical question. What's the plan for off-ramps? If a choice sparks chaos, who calls timeout? Who decides the next post is low-key, the next event is private, the next studio visit stays off the grid? That's not culture war talk, that's logistics. And logistics, more than slogans, decide whether a child's life feels normal or like a feed. In the end, hypocrisy is the internet's favorite shortcut. It's fast, it's sharp, and it feels like a win. But it rarely fixes the problem in front of the family. A kid who needs grown-ups to choose boring over viral. Which brings us to the one thing that briefly cut through the noise, a camera that wasn't chasing clout but capturing strain. When the documentary footage surfaced, it didn't settle the argument, but it changed how people heard it. The 2025 documentary In Whose Name didn't settle legal questions, but it made emotional ones impossible to dodge. Candid footage caught the air changing mid-conversation. Kanye describing feeling emasculated, Kim pushing back with clipped calm, Kris holding eye contact like a shield. It isn't a deposition, it's a mirror held up to a very loud house. And mirrors don't choose sides, they just reflect. People who already leaned Ye saw proof he's been boxed out by a media machine. Those who trust Kim and Kris saw two women managing a storm without flinching. What the film really did was slow the story down. Instead of headlines, you got breaths. Instead of quotes, you heard tone. How a sentence softens on the last word. How a pause says more than a paragraph. That's the kind of texture that hardens opinions. Once you've felt a moment, you're sure you know it, even though documentaries are edited like anything else. Clips then peeled off into socials, trimmed to bite sizes that travel fast, turning a complicated family boundary into a tagline. It also raised the practical questions everyone avoids until they can't. Who actually greenlights a look? Who says yes to a studio session? Who texts not tonight when a kid needs sleep instead of content? The film doesn't hand you answers, but it makes the logistics visible in a way a headline never does. And it hints at something uncomfortable. The most protective choices, the canceled shoot, the quiet night, the phone put face down, leave no footage. They're invisible by design. And through all of this, the person with the least say is the one everyone talks about. Strip away the headlines and what's left is a 12-year-old trying to be a kid while living on the world's largest stage. Childhood and brand do not mix easily. Styling becomes messaging. A family hangout becomes B-roll. A verse on a track becomes culture war ammo. Reports say lawyers might get involved. If that happens, a judge won't weigh cool mom versus protective dad. They'll look for stability, privacy, and best interests. Until then, it's a tug of war between narratives, and the rope is a child's public image. Rumors suggest more moves are coming. Reports claim both sides are digging in. None of that is settled, and that uncertainty is the part that should make everyone stop scrolling and think. So who's right? Maybe that's the wrong question. The real one is simpler. Does any of this protect North? If a style moment invites a storm, maybe the styling changes. If the music credit invites more heat, maybe the studio doors close for a while. Love can be loud on social media, but protection is usually quiet. And right now, quiet might be the bravest move anyone in this story could make.